It's the semifinal round of high school football, and one of our spotlighted games this week in the semifinals takes us to Class 2A. We get Lyman on the road at Bighorn, another big matchup between the Eagles and the Rams, visiting with Lyman coach Dale Anderson. And we're basically in the same spot you were a year ago, if I'm correct. Isn't that right,
Yep.
Dale?
Yep. Exactly. Same spot.
So you got to make the long trip. Did you learn
Yep.
anything about the trip last year that maybe you do something different this time around?
Well, last year the problem was is we got bad weather. We had bus problems. I mean, we had a lot of things out of our control. So, we had a plan and that plan fell apart every step of the way. So we're hoping for better weather and our windshield wipers work and different things like that causes problems last year. So hopefully it's a little more clear sailing on the trip.
Yeah, I guess so. How do you go about breaking up a trip like that when you have such a long journey from the Southwest all the way to basically the extreme northern part of the state? And then on top of that, you got an early kickoff as well.
Yeah. Well, we play up at level every other year, so we're used to making that trip. Our kids kind of know how to navigate it. We stop every couple hours. I think we'll probably stop in Casper and do a little practice. And our girls volleyball plays at 4:30 that day, and my daughters are playing, so we'll probably slip in and watch a little volleyball before we head up to Sheridan, and so yeah, just kind of keep it planned out and keep the kids, occupied and yeah, they're used to making trips like that enough that we don't really talk too much about it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, take me back to last week. A little dramatic victory down at halftime to Tongue River, and you find a way to pull it out in the second half. As you watch film, reflect on that, what did you take away from that performance last week?
Well, the first thing is we got to start a little better than we did last week. We had a lot of mistakes early. Just looked like, just some things that, kind of dug us in that hole. And, Bighorn's way too good a team to get yourself in a hole against them. So, we're hoping to, come out and execute a little better initially. And, there's always that emotion that comes with these kind of playoff games and some tension build up. And so, we're hoping to get our kids relaxed and just kind of come out and play.
Talk about what did you learn about your team though, with their ability to kind of overcome that adversity.
Well, you talk to kids about a lot of different things, and one is resiliency. Being sometimes if your back's against the wall, how do you respond? And I like I said, I thought our kids responded great. And that lesson learned that hey, tough times come in life. How are you going to handle it? And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but you just keep trying is kind of the lesson. Hopefully they learn from that and the message we can send.
All right, let's talk about Bighorn. You said they're going to be a tough opponent. What are you seeing right now out of Coach McLaughlin's bunch?
They got a little bit of everything. They got size. We're outsized most games we play, so we're not. We're not. That's something we're kind of used to. But their size, their speed, their athleticism. And it's like most teams say off. You can take this away or take that away, but they're so balanced offensively. They run the ball well, they pass the ball well. Their special teams are phenomenal. They do a great job on their special teams, and they also have a really good defense. And so it'll be a monumental task, but we're happy to still be playing, and we talk to the kids all the time about it doesn't help us to play games that are easy wins. We want you got to challenge yourself once in a while, and this will be a huge challenge for us.
So, what are you stressing to your team? Not asking for the game plan here, Dale, but what are you emphasizing as you get ready to take on Bighorn?
It just the line of scrimmage is key for I think for everybody. Coaches will always say that, but I really believe that that's one of the keys is how do we match up front with them? Their size there, and they got some big kids, but they also have some really athletic kids up front. So that's going to be a challenge for us on both sides of the ball, how we handle that. And just little things, making sure that we're executing, just the little things. We're not going to change who we are. And I doubt Bighorn's going to change who they are. You just try to get a little better at what you do. Maybe have a couple of new wrinkles in there just in case you need them. So.
Well, Dale, wish you best of luck on the road Friday at Bighorn in the semifinals.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We continue to talk about one of our spotlighted games here as we look at the semifinals of Wyoming High School football this weekend, and it's in two-way. Lyman Eagles on the road at the Bighorn Rams, visiting for the first time this season with Bighorn head coach Kirk McLaughlin. It's been a while since we chatted, but the playoffs are always a different deal, Kirk. So how do you feel like your team handled things kind of starting over at 0-0 in that survive and advance last week?
I thought mentally our boys were on top of things. I think they handled the pressure pretty well. You know, the West is just kind of loaded. There was no easy opponents. They all play quality football. So we had to prepare at our best and continue to improve. You know, weeks ago, we were talking when we knew we were going to be a playoff team that where we were at weeks ago wasn't going to be good enough, that we had to continue to get better. And that's just the focus every week. We want to be better football players. We want to execute our schemes better. We want to be better leaders each and every week. So I think our boys have handled that pretty well.
Talk about your group and just what you feel you can bring to the table. It seems like so many different things you guys can do on both sides of the ball, really.
Yeah, I feel like you know, offensively we're pretty dynamic. We got a lot of weapons out there that a lot of kids that are on the field that can make plays. We got a great O-line doing some things up front that we've been able to, you know, pass very well at times and then run the ball well at times. So we're not a one show pony. We can do multiple things defensively. You know, at the beginning of the year, where there were some things to improve on, but we've, you know, just gotten better throughout the year. We're playing more physical, more disciplined defense as the year progresses, and I'm excited where we're at.
Now you get another challenge. It's basically the same setup you were in a year ago with Lyman coming to your place. Obviously, you know, you guys played through some cold weather last week in the elements. Did that toughen your kids up knowing that, you know, you just never know what to expect in Wyoming weather-wise around playoff time?
I was proud of our boys for their mental toughness last week and handling that cold weather and the elements. And you know, we didn't slow down offensively. We didn't necessarily slow them down offensively either. They put up some good numbers, but you know, I was proud of the way our boys handled the elements last week, and we're looking at nicer weather this week. But you know, we're changing our game time kickoff, so you know, I think our boys will handle that well and be prepared.
Talk about Lyman. What do you see out of Dale's bunch right now coming into this?
Just another quality group. You know, they do a great job with those boys. They run quality schemes that are just tough to stop. The Bradshaw kid's as tough as they get. He's a downhill runner, but you can't just focus on him. They got other guys that can tote the rock, and just a very physical offensive line. Defensively, you know, you're not going to get a big play on them. So, you know, don't plan on having those home run plays work very well. So you just got to be disciplined, and you can't make mistakes. They're able to capitalize on mistakes, and you got to be willing to go 4 quarters too, because you're not going to beat them in the first quarter and then outlast them the rest of the game. You got to go toe to toe with them and play physical football for 4 quarters. They're going to be tough.
So, what are you emphasizing to your team when you're concerned about your group? And I'm not asking for the game plan on Friday at noon, but what are you really stressing to your group as some keys on Friday afternoon?
You know, for both teams, there's a lot on the line. Like both teams want to go to Laramie next week, but that can't be the focus. We got to stay dialed in, present on Lyman, and taking care of business. We got to come and play a great game, and that's it. It just focus on what the next play is going to be and execute that play. They're going to win some plays. We know that they're going to come and they're going to win a few times. We just got to do our part to overcome and win the next play. And that's kind of been the talk. And we want to execute and play Bighorn football and not take any steps backward and not overlook anybody towards next week, because we got a quality opponent coming to town this week, and we got to be ready.
Well, Kirk, that's all I need from you. I wish you best luck at home Friday against the Eagles.
Thanks for having me, and always look forward to seeing what you guys got.